Is that good? Hey? Is that why you're not bloody eating? Because you want one of your minty sticks? This content is brought to you in association with my buddies over at Jam Jam Cards UK. You can find the links to the eBay store and the Facebook page in the description. This dog has a full bowl of food but won't fucking eat because he didn't have his green minty stick that he loves. And he sat there going absolutely apeshit in the house because he wants one of them fucking sticks. Shock. Horror. Look at him. Little goblin. So here we are, it is back to another Saturday Locals. Obviously last weekend we were at a regional. We've got a few more of those coming up over the next few weeks. I think 2 more before Christmas at the time of recording. Canterbury and 1 in Northampton on our home soil, so we'll be definitely looking forward to that one. I think a few of the local players are in for a bit of a shock when we roll up with regional mode in our heads, but there you go. So yeah, we are waiting to be picked up. We're trying some new changes today for the deck. I made a bunch on Tuesday, but that was only a 3-rounder at Locals, and it'll be interesting to see how it gets on against other matchups. Some really positive stuff, some was okay, but then again I was also playing very good players and they all had good decks that were all built out, so there's going to be an element of learning a little bit of playing around those sort of things and taking all of that into account. But anyway, waiting for Jam to go pick us up, and of course we're going to go head off and get some breakfast before we hit Locals. And this is why you're not eating your full bowl of food, because you want this. Just chew properly, stop trying to swallow it. Absolute cretin.
This is what Neo just did.
My guy's got a fucking napkin. Look at this.
Right?
I don't want to make a mess.
He's looked over there, yeah, and seen that there's no napkins. So instead of stopping, yeah, what he's doing, right, he's gone, and then realised there's no napkins. So he's looking over there, and he goes and eats how much. Nothing in Neo wants a napkin.
It's just efficient.
Huh?
It's efficient.
It's just you didn't say anything. You just were looking.
I noticed you didn't wear a napkin today. You didn't even spill on your shirt. You're growing up.
How can I spill a fucking hard-boiled egg?
Not supposed to be hard boiled though.
No.
To be fair, this only glanced at maple syrup across the counter, like, it's not actually seen it.
Fucking look at that plate. Pathetic.
Look at the size of it compared to you!
Yeah, well that's the problem, isn't it?
Pathetic.
Pathetic. Oh, Jam said he saw it.
Oh, for real?
What?
Nah, real
Mystic
shit.
mine.
There.
Real shit, you trolling.
So we have arrived at Locals, pretty rammed as always, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on today. Lots of the same faces, lots of ones that haven't been a little while, so there'll be a little bit more variety, which is quite nice. We're expecting a pretty packed one, so it'll be fun to see how we get on. Of course, playing PK Fire with the changes as discussed earlier, so again, it'll be interesting because we're going to face probably quite a variety of different decks, so good for testing purposes, I guess. So let's see how we get on. So round 1 is down, and also our official count is in a nice 44 player Locals, which for the UK is massive. I legitimately can only think of one place that maybe gets more. So that's good prep. We've got a regional here, which will be a 48-man count, which again for UK is a fairly standard regional, maybe slightly bigger normally, but it is what it is. So it's good practice, good variety in the room. But round 1 we play against Lyrilisk. Lyrilisk Tribe Brigade, I should have the bird up build. We get away with it a little bit. Game 1, I had like a weird hand, it threw me off a little bit, and I managed to get into the full combo with Reader on the field as well. But when I summoned back my DPE, I summoned it to the zone that Rusty points to, and if I hadn't done that, I could have just banished my Fogblade and popped Scythe in his draw phase, rather than fluffing it like I did. Fortunately, we got away with it. He managed to banish the DPE, so I was a bit worried, but then he made his full combo after doing Dark Ruler no more, which meant that he couldn't kill me, and I think he forgot that as well, which meant that he committed a load of stuff to the board, couldn't really play, and then the next time managed to kill him. And then game 2, he goes set, pass, going first. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I opened 2 Phantom Knights and, 3 Phantom Knights, I think it was. No, 2 Phantom Knights, Kagamucha Knight, and Tour Guide. I go to Tour Guide rather than just go for one of the Phantom Knights and get a free special, so I did not have to worry about the gates. I knew I shouldn't have done it, I just did it anyway. And then Tour Guide got stopped. So we had to attack for 500 on pass turn. And yeah, but fortunately we managed to get back into it. He managed to make F0, but not much else, because I managed to Fog Blade at just the right time, I think. And then the next time I managed to kill him. So we fucked it up a little bit, but we managed to claw it back in both games. Hopefully we don't make those mistakes again. So round 2 is down. We lose to Ignista. Game 1. Playing goes second, he makes most of the board, he fluffs one bit, and I've got like half a chance to get back into it, and I lose to Ghost Ogre and Cherubini. I had cards I could have set, so I shouldn't have fell for it, but again, it's one of the things where like the interaction's not come up at all since we've been playing it. I've been gammered before, but he had a full board, so he wasn't going to gammer me. It's a bit unfortunate, but again, the hand was awkward, so it was going to be difficult, but that was definitely on me. If I just set one of those cards, and I probably could have played and would have had a chance of at least staying in the game. Then I thought, oh, it's okay, we'll go game 2, I'll just go for combo, and then I win. And then that didn't happen. We opened, our only monster we could summon was Wheeler. We had a Scythe as well. We had like Eclipse. We had loads of cards that were like super defensive with nothing to actually play, and then during his turn he flips Rivalry, so we couldn't play anyway. So game 1, a little bit my own fault, but again, it was always going to be an uphill battle, and then game 2, we completely bricked, so what are you going to do about it? So we're 1-1 after round 2, a bit of a lunch break now, and we'll see how we get on for the rest of them.
British summer, British winter, British autumn, British spring. All looks exactly the fucking same.
So round 3 is down. We play against Altergeist, where it's normally a very tricky matchup. Fortunately, DPE saves the day. DPE and Dark Ruler just absolutely clutch against it. They do so much in your turn. It doesn't matter, you make them commit into their boards, or you force them to commit into their boards. They get like 3 monsters on the field, and then you just go Dark Ruler, and then you break the board and kill them. They run out of resources, and then DPE handles the rest for you by keeping their levels down. So it's worked out really nicely, whereas normally we'd have, say, like Goons, which can interrupt in one way, but not to the same degree. So playing like this just works really nicely so far, and like I say, DPE has just been absolutely wonderful. So we get the win against Altergeist, now 2-1 after round 3, so we'll see how we get on after the rest of them. So round 4 down, unfortunately we didn't get the win. We play against Unchained, which is normally not too bad. Obviously DP is a big cut for them normally. Game 1 I pretty comfortably won. Game 2 I decided to go second. He chose to go second because obviously no, I was decided loads of back row hate to try and break his board, so it was a bit unfortunate we lost that one. And then game 3 was like super grindy, nice back and forth. I think the big clutch change moment was when he IDP'd me, summoned back my DPE, and then banished that and Rusty, and that took a lot of my ability to just keep grinding against him out. We went through a lot of resources, we ended up going to time, and he was up on life, so it was a really, really good back and forth game. But I think he was going to win it anyway, even if we played it out. So one of those, we're 2-2 at the moment. We've got to win the last one and hope some of the other results go our way, but unlikely to top. So it is the end of Locals. We didn't get in. We lost our last round, which I don't think would have been enough anyway. We had a lot of players on, so the odds of getting in were always going to be quite tight, even on X2. We ended up on X3. We lost our final round to Mech Knight, but in reality we really just lost to a God Hand, which he opened both games. Mech Knight invoked, he opened God Hand both games, and I opened like semi-playable hands that needed a lot of stuff to go through, and we couldn't play through the interrupts and things like that. So a little bit unfortunate, frustrating, because it's a game where against a player where really I think normally I would win against a deck I would normally win against, and it's a little bit unfortunate. So one of those, nothing we can do about it. So we finished 2 and 3. A couple of the guys going to top Henman and Capoli, I think, maybe Broadbent, I'm not really sure, I didn't check. Anyway, some of our guys got in, but again, it was a smash in Locals, like in terms of numbers and everything. So really, really strong day. 44 players in the end, which again, we've got a regional coming up in a few weeks. It's 48, so it gives us a good idea of exactly what to expect on that day. But yeah, it was good all in all. Unfortunate results. I also think we need to work a bit harder. There's a few mistakes I made where I think I got away with it. Pretty much all the times I made mistakes that didn't really cost me the game, which was fortunate, but there's still mistakes that otherwise I should have got punished for. So anyway, enough waffling on from me. It's the end of the day, end of the locals. We're just sitting around and chilling for a bit before we head home. But again, no top this week, and getting a little bit frustrated by it, but c'est la vie. When you've got competitive locals with lots and lots of players, there's always going to be a chance that you don't make it. So you just have to work a little bit harder, get a little bit luckier sometimes, and hope for the best.